Hello students, this is your Bhushan sir. Hope all of you are fine. Take care of your safety and health in this pandemic time. Well, all of us would have experienced the call cuts in our phones as we talk. It could be due to the draining out of power or charge in a mobile. It would be a tensionful time experience for most of us. I mean, if the power backup gets drained out, the mobile phone gets switches off. So to make a call, one of the necessity here is the power backup or the charge in the mobile. This power or charge is the energy here for making calls or connecting calls, which is the work that is performed. I think you would have guessed now the topic that we are going to discuss today, that is related to energy resources. The word energy is derived from the Greek word energon, which means in work or work content. So, energy is defined as the capacity or ability to do the work. Every physical and chemical and even biological works or activities is due to the energy behind it. It is the backbone of any production activity. So, energy is widely used in our agriculture and industrial sectors. It is also used in our daily activities like transportation, then lighting, cooking, and heating activities of our household. Fine students, from where do we get this energy? There are natural matters or resources that stores the energy, which are collectively called as fuels. So this energy of fuel can be converted from one form to another, which we have learned in our lower classes, which is related to Newton's law. A good fuel should be easily available, easy to store, easy to transport. It should be economical and should be able to perform large amount of works. This fuel or sources of energy is further classified into two types. Namely, the first one is conventional sources, which are used since decades in practice. Example are fossil fuels like coal, petrol, firewood, then dried cow dung, etc. The second is non-conventional energy resources. These are new ways or practices found by human beings. It includes the examples of wind energy, solar energy, tidal energy, geothermal energy, nuclear energy, bioenergy, etc. Fine students, now we shall understand the first type, that is conventional type of energy resources. These are energy resources which are natural and are used for many years to the lighting, heating processes of household. Example, the fossil fuels, coal, natural gas, electricity, etc. They have very limited reserves. Due to the long usage of these natural resources, there exists the gradual decrease in the reserves and had led to the exhaust condition. So is the necessity of finding the other alternative resources. Here comes into the picture the second type of energy resources, which are collectively called as non-conventional energy resources. These non-conventional energy resources are available plenty in nature. They have a unique property of renewable or inexhaustible, which means they do not get exhausted. These energy resources are not used up by man since ages. As we have understood the characteristics of a good fuel, these non-conventional energy resources are eco-friendly, economical, and broadly used for domestic or household purposes. So here comes the examples like wind energy, solar energy, then tidal energy, nuclear energy resources, etc. Every year, August 21st and 22nd is observed as the Day of Renewable Energy Resources. Now, we shall understand these natural non-conventional energy resources one by one. First one to start is our solar energy. As we all know that sunlight is the largest source of energy on the earth. It emits the solar radiations. These solar radiations encompasses ultraviolet, visible and infrared light radiations in it. We receive this sunlight nearly 360 days of an year. As these radiations passes through the atmosphere and clouds, there is approximately only 54% of sunlight reaches the earth. Of the 54%, 50% corresponds to the visible light or the VIBGR, and rest 45% forms the rest of the infrared and ultraviolet radiations, and rest percentage, whatever is left out, that forms the electromagnetic radiations. VIBGR or the visible light forms the light energy, and infrared or ultraviolet radiations forms the heat energy. Hence, the light and heat energy from the sun together is called as our solar energy. The solar energy source is free of cost, but the exploitation of this energy from the resource of the sun is highly expensive. Solar energy as thermal or heat energy includes the examples of the type what we are going to understand now, that is solar heaters, solar heaters are the devices used to capture the solar energy and convert it to thermal or heat energy by using special structures called flat plate collectors. Remember, they are called flat plate collectors. What are these flat plate collectors used in the solar heaters? They are the blackened metal plate covered with the sheets of glass, which gets heated up by the sunlight upon falling. The black color here has the property of maximum absorption of sunlight. This heat, which is transmitted to the air or water that flows at the back of the black metal plate, hence commonly used in solar water heaters and household heating purposes. You can see its working principle in the picture of the slide here. The solar radiations fall on flat plate collectors. Towards your right side, the diagram depicts it. The heat energy of the plate is now transferred to the flow water tubes down. The water becomes hot. The hot water is sent out for the household purposes through an outlet. It is recorded that nearly 66 to 93 degrees centigrades of temperature is recorded in the water heaters used in the solar energy. The hot water is used for household purposes, especially for bathing. The next application of solar energy is in solar cookers. A solar cooker has an outer reflecting surface of mirrors to focus the sunlight. Inside of it has a black coat. The device is covered with a glass plate outside to prevent the escape of the heat and light, which we call together as greenhouse. So, the trapped heat is used to cook the food in the containers. The next example is usage of solar energy in solar cell. What is a solar cell? It is also called as photovoltaic cell. It is a device that converts solar energy into electrical energy or electricity. Each solar energy can generate approximately 0.51 to 0.7 watts of electrical power that could be used for practical household uses. When the sunlight strikes the solar cell, an electron is set free from the semiconductor of dissimilar types. That is, here we make use of N and P types of semiconductors as what you see in the picture here. And this phenomenon of emission of electrons is called photoelectric effect because it happens due to the sunlight, creating a flow of electrons, a circuit of electrons, and these electrons flow through an external circuit leading to the electric power generation. You can see the same in the picture of the slide here. Hence, a solar cell or a photovoltaic cell is used widely to power the common gadgets like calculators, watches, and other gadgets. In large scale, the usage of solar cells are seen with the integration in thin films to form special structures called solar panels. Students, remember, solar panels are nothing but a group of solar cells together. Here, the energy obtained from the solar panels is used to pump the water from the underground. Then it is also used in the communication systems to transfer the signals. It is also widely used in the traffic signals, then in satellites, etc. Solar energy is also used in solar distillation units. It is seen generally at the coastal areas to meet the scarcity of potable water that converts this saline or salty water into usable or potable distilled water. You can see a picture and working principle of solar distillation unit here in this slide. Here, the water evaporates due to heat energy of the sun in the given area. So the evaporated water is trapped by the glass cover and it is collected as the distilled water, whereas the rest of the brine solution, nothing but the salt solution left out, is collected down by using an outlet. Next is solar energy is used in agricultural field to pump the water for irrigation during hot summer. You know that during summer we experience more of power cuts. To meet the need, we make use of the solar energy which is abundantly present during summer season to use the solar energy for the purpose of drawing up of the or pumping up of the water from the underground. Then it is also used to dry the animal and agricultural products. Then solar energy is used to generate the high temperatures using the solar panels using solar furnaces. So solar furnaces are used for metallurgical and chemical operations. Down in the picture of the slide, from left to right are solar furnace, solar pump and solar dryers representing. In case of solar cookers, a temperature of 15 to 25 degrees centigrade is obtained initially. Later it goes up to 60 degrees centigrades, which is used to cook the food. Advantage of solar cooker is it needs no fuel, free from that of the pollution, no need of attention while cooking process. Next is usage of solar panel to generate the electric power. Thousands of voltaic cells or solar cells are integrated together to absorb more of sunlight and generate more of electricity. The electrical energy of this type is used as an alternative form of energy at the households. Then another interesting usage of solar energy is in solar ponds. A solar pond is a natural or an artificial water body used to collect and absorb the solar energy. The pond should be of the depth of 5 to 10 centimeters with a black plastic bottom to absorb more of heat. It has a curved fibrous glass cover to permit the solar radiation's inflow. The bottom layers of the water is connected to an outlet and inlet of water. Inlet serves as the water flow of cold nature, whereas the outflow or outlet for the hot water after the trapping of heat of solar energy. This hot water is obtained here is used for the household, industrial purposes, and by using large ponds we can and turbines we can use the same for the generation of electricity. The next usage of solar energy is in solar greenhouses. A greenhouse is a structure covered with a transparent glass or a plastic material that acts as the solar collector. The solar radiations that are trapped inside is used to grow the plants. This device has control panel of temperature, heating, cooling and ventilation. Likewise, we find variety of usage of solar energy in various fields. To add few interesting features here, China ranks first place to use this solar energy with 130 gigawatts in the whole world. Rajasthan tops in our country, and in Karnataka, when we look at the position of Karnataka ranking, it stands at 9th position in the usage of solar energy. And rooftop solar energy is widely used in Karnataka, and it is the best practice that we make. Shakti Sthala of Pavagada. You can see it here in the picture above, which is located in Tumkur, has India's third large solar park. Next comes the concept of advantages of solar energy. Among all benefits of solar energy, solar panels forms a vital stage. Solar energy is a true renewable energy resource. As long as sunlight exists, this plant of solar energy also exists. It reduces electricity bills and other complications like electric power cuts. The solar energy is also used to meet the potable water scarcity at the coastal areas through the solar distillation units. The technology in solar power industry is so advancing to reduce the cost of installation now. Next is disadvantages of solar energy. The major disadvantages of solar energy are: number one, as we have understood early, the cost of installation of solar plant or panel is very high. The next is the efficiency of solar power system reduces during the rainy and cloudy seasons. The batteries used in the grid to store the solar electricity is very expensive. The solar power plant occupies a large space, and the transport and installation of the solar panels is associated with the emission of greenhouse gases. Students, with this we are completing the concept of solar energy, wherein we have understood the importance and how solar energy is harnessed, their uses, advantages and disadvantages. The concept is important for short notes generally. The next is energy resource that we shall understand is related to wind energy. Most of us like to experience the cool breeze during the summer near the seashores and coastal areas. The very reason is that summer is hot and like to expose ourselves to the cool breeze. It is the feeling of experience of heaven on the earth. No one will definitely deny or say no to it. The moving air is generally called as wind, or air in motion is called wind. Wind is formed when sun heats one part of the earth. It causes the air to expand as the air gets warmed. So the air after warming rises up. When it moves up, in the down area there is decrease in the air pressure. Now the air of high pressure starts moving from upper region to the next neighboring location, because from the neighboring location the air moves into this particular area. So you can see in the picture here, towards my left, the warming of land is taking place. The air gets warmed up, it rises, it starts moving to the region where the land is not warm. So when it moves, the air from that area which is of high pressure starts moving to the low pressure of the warm land. So you can see the arrow marks there indicating how exactly the air will show the cyclic movement there. So during daytime, as the earth is hot, it makes air to move up, causing less pressure. In coastal areas, the warm air moves from the land to the sea, and cold air moves from sea to the land. That's what you see in the picture towards the left side. Whereas during night time, the vice versa process takes place. The wind blows from land to the sea, so is the high tides formation that takes place during night in the coastal shores, that you can see towards the right side of the picture in the slide. Now, the advantage of speed of wind here is we can trap the kinetic energy of the wind here. This kinetic energy was used in our ancient times to sail the boats and ships, but now we use the same kinetic energy to generate the electricity by using special devices called wind turbines, wind fans, or even called as windmills. Here, the kinetic energy of the wind is first converted into mechanical energy, which is later converted into electrical energy. A windmill has gears connected to a shaft to accelerate the speed of blades attached to it. Now, the shaft is connected to a generator and even a transformer that stores and distributes the electric energy to the needy. This is what you see in the picture down here. Wind strikes the turbines, that is exactly the blades of the turbines. The blade starts rotating, showing the mechanical energy. Now this mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy by the process of electromagnetic induction. And this electrical energy or electricity is transmitted and generated in a generator or a grid, from where it reaches the needy or the user ultimately. Fine students, after we understanding the working principle of the windmill, now we shall move on to the applications of wind energy. First to start is, wind energy is used to sail boats and ships in coastal areas to transport the needy materials. Next is, wind energy is used largely to pump the water from underground using the windmills. Windmills are used to run the flour mills at coastal regions to grind the grains. The windmills are also used to generate the wind electricity. Wind energy is considered as an economical, environmental friendly energy resource compared to the hydropower electricity. China ranks first in the world to use wind energy, and India ranks fourth to use the same. Our Karnataka state also ranks fourth in the country, generating around 4,754 megawatts of energy. Next is advantages of wind energy. The first advantage of wind energy is it is clean and environmental friendly fuel resource. This technology of windmills doesn't pollute air or do not produce any greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide and methane. Next is, wind energy is a sustainable and renewable resource. Winds are formed mainly due to the warming of the air by sun. So as long as the sunlight is there, wind production is possible to generate the electrical energy. Wind energy is cost effective. Here, the source of energy, that is wind, is absolutely free. Windmills are installed in a little fraction of land, causing no trouble to them. Here to the farmers are beneficiaries. Also, an additional income is generated through the owners of the wind power plants to the farmers. Windmills generate electricity. The next advantage is wind energy ensures job creation to the needy. Here, manufacturers of wind turbines, installing professionals, maintenance people, or the benevolence with the jobs, it is estimated that nearly 600,000 jobs are assured by wind energy turbine manufacturers by 2050. Next is disadvantages of wind energy. The first disadvantage is that there is fluctuation of wind during the exploitation or harnessing of the wind energy. Wind energy has the drawback as it is not constant energy resource throughout the day or an year. So this leads to loss gain fluctuations even to the owners of the windmills. The next disadvantage is noise and aesthetic pollution. Wind turbines generate a very huge noise and visual pollution. A single wind turbine can be heard from hundreds of meters away or distance. The next is, it is not a profitable use of land. The alternative uses for the land might be more highly valued than the electricity generations when the windmills generate less electricity. It causes threat to the wildlife. Especially, the birds have been killed by flying into the spinning turbine blades when the windmill is in action. In addition to this, it causes vandalism. Vandalism is a phenomenon wherein the dust particles of the air gets distributed unevenly in the surrounding environment due to the movement of the turbines. This concept of wind energy is also important for the short notes of 5 marks. Students, if you have any queries and comments, kindly make use of my contact number. You can watch the video related to the topic of solar energy and wind energy in my YouTube channel. Wish you all a very good day. Thank you.